So I asked AI a dumb question, and then from the answer I got, I decided I was going to make a video about it. I wanted to know how many hamsters running in wheels would it take to power buildandbail.com. So I went to Claude, typed that in, and thought I would just get a simple answer. What I actually got was a very detailed answer. Now, sadly, Claude didn't know much about build and bail. Apparently didn't remember any of our history, but it did immediately jump into running a typical website. Single server, typically drawing 300 to 500 watts continuously, 400 watts for a reasonable estimate. A hamster can generate 0.5 watts on a good day. Hamsters will not run 24/7 though. So it came out and did the math, saying that it would take 800 hamsters if they could run nonstop. Counting for their sleep cycles, it said, hey, we need 4 shifts here, with some overlap, running 6 hours a day each, giving you 3,200 hamsters. So you would need 32 standard 100 hamster enclosures. I don't know that a 100 hamster enclosure is standard. I don't know what that means, but I trust in Claude. So then I asked what the shifts would look like. It came back and gave me a full, almost like a business plan for this. They want to run at the same time, roughly 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. So you would need to do staggered lighting to trick them into thinking that it was the time they want to run. So it gave the full plans for this, how to do artificial day-night, have some overlap so you don't have any downtime, also having a rest day by putting in a 5th rotation. It ended up saying 4,500 hamsters. I stuck with 3,200 for the next part of this project, but you'll see that as we get up to it. So essentially what it came out with is a facility layout too, like a hamster data center is what it called it, which is pretty funny, I thought. And then I asked, hey, can you write me a detailed script for this? I thought about putting this into Google Gemini and seeing if I can make a video out of it using Google Flow. So I asked for that. I didn't get too heavy on the details here. I just said, hey, give me a detailed script and make a video, include the room, warehouse, everything that's needed. Didn't really specify that I was going for AI though. You'll see what it comes out with is as if I was running a small Hollywood studio. And this is all real time. So you'll see sometimes Claude, like any of the AIs, you'll get into these points where you might see some churning. That's all normal. I'm assuming that's something going on either with my internet connection, maybe the back end of Claude, maybe it's getting a lot of requests. So you'll always have these downtimes from time to time. I left it in the video so everyone could see exactly what it's like. I wanted this to be as real as possible. So we do have a brief pause here. I will also say that the response it did end up coming out with was fairly detailed. So I'm sure some of this time was taking that into account and coming up with a plan for this professional video production script. So here we have it. Video production script, cinematic, absurdist documentary, deadpan serious tone, yada, 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 gives the warehouse look. They even gave me a floor plan. Central power hub with the wires, control desk, server rack, camera dolly track, all the hamster wheels we would need, the control room area. As I'm scrolling through this is live, so as I was scrolling through it, I was reading this as I went. I quickly realized at least I don't think I could put this into Google Flow and get something meaningful. This was way too detailed for what I typically use when I'm making a video. So once I got to the end and saw the budgets, all of that, I went back to the chat and said, hey, let's make this a little simpler. I'm using AI. It updated the script. It broke it down into scenes for me. It did have some details still in here, text overlays. That's something that I have had some issues with Google Flow. Sometimes it seems to get that right. Other times you'll get some of the misspellings or different errors. Even when I've used like a screen cap or something in there, it'll take a version of that and mess up the text. So something when I actually went into the video and made it, I removed. But I did. You'll see it mentioned something about they don't handle audio overlays well. That's one thing that Google Flow does do well. When I've had audio overlays in the past, like it's done a good job with those. If you've seen the emergency pants video or played around Google Flow, you'll know it seems to do a pretty good job with speech within the videos. This particular video did not have any audio overlays, even though I told it could leave them in. I didn't actually read the script before I said that. So once it finished up the script, it broke it into the 4 scenes, gave a little bit of an introduction. I then took that and went over into Google Flow, which this is my first time using this version of Google Flow. You'll see it's a little, maybe not as smooth as you might expect, but this is, they changed it up a bit, and some of the layouts of the screen and how it generates the videos is a little different than it was laid out just a few days ago. So this is the home screen. I just put the first prompt in, and you can see in the upper right corner of the video, it's showing you the percentage as it's generating that first clip. This is, again, live speed. I've had things go quicker. I've had things go slower. It's really a matter of, I guess, how intricate your prompt is and what's going on the back end of the server, how busy they might be. While this is going, though, I typically, while I'm making these, I don't sit and watch. I will jump over, maybe do something else, prep the next part of the script, read it over, or work on a blog post, something like that. Obviously, you don't have to sit here and watch the screen as it counts up percent by percent. So now we're just about to the point where it's producing the first video. In this video, I'll play a little bit of it. Not really watching this. We will link to the finished product, so you'll be able to see what it looked like when it was done. But basically, at the bottom of the screen there, you see the extend. You're able to take that scene and extend it by giving it a new update. So I pasted scene 2 in there, removed all the text overlay, hit go, and let it go ahead and make the first or second video clip. Also, if you're using Google Flow for the first time or just getting into it, you have some options there where the drop down is like VO 3.1 fast. There's other options there. You could set set it to produce multiple videos each time it produces a video. If you want 1 or 2, 3 videos, it could do that. If you want a horizontal or vertical video, it'll do that. Just keep in mind, the more videos you produce, the more tokens you use. So you can eventually come up to hitting your cap. And this part is, the video generation. You could understand it's going to take a little longer. They're creating videos out of nothing. When you see the finished product, you'll be impressed with how quickly it produces that video based on the quality. And I'm not saying the finished product is looking like something that's coming out of Hollywood, but for somebody just sitting at a desk typing a couple words into a web browser, it's pretty amazing. Because it's the extension of the video, you do see a little bit of like the first video because it's just building this out. Now I'm adding in the third prompt, again, pulling out any text overlays, letting it roll. And you essentially keep doing this until you get to the point where you like it. There are some, um, there's like a storyboard editor in here where you could see the different clips. If you need to add something in the middle or rearrange them, you could do that. If you need to insert something, remove something, change something, you can make changes. This is part of the update with this new version of Google Flow, which just came out. There are more tools for the creator to be able to make changes to existing videos and the control that they have. I have not played around with it yet. This is really the first time using the new version of Google Flow. So I'm just kind of sticking to a first pass, trying to see how fast I could get this done and what kind of quality it'll produce when it's done. This third clip looks like it's getting pretty close to finishing. And now I will be entering in my final prompt. It's one thing looking back at it afterwards, I wish I'd gotten one more scene to kind of give a closeout or some kind of ending. It just kind of ends showing a computer in the middle being powered by these hamsters. When you watch the video, it feels a little cut off. I can still, so everything stays in Google Flow. You could go back in and look at old projects, tweak them as needed. So I can potentially go in. This is not any kind of money making project for me. This was more of a fun little, I had a little time to waste, had an idea in my head, trying to get it out there. So with that being said, I'm happy with the outcome that I got from this project. But there's always room for improvement. And as you learn, you could probably go back and do some more things. All right, this one looks like it's just about coming to the end. This one does seem a little bit slower than the past few. Could be internet, could be Gemini's network, could be the detail of the script. It's just part of the game playing with AI. So now it has the finished product. It was being a little buggy for me. I wasn't on the best internet connection while I was doing this. I was working with the internet on my phone, running my laptop off my phone through a hotspot. So that could be it too. But here is my finished video as you see on the screen. We will also link to the finished video on YouTube so you can see it standalone with the audio. And that's it. I mean, this was, I don't know, maybe, how long is this video? 14 minutes? 14 minutes for me to come up with the idea, take it into Google Flow, make this video, all with AI tools.